Wow, excellent. So everything is working right now. Yeah, today we'll speak a bit about expectations, in particular expectations connected with, oh, sorry, with my clicker. It's not clicking, but maybe now. Yay. Great. So connected with MoSCoW. MoSCoW is a way, which actually allow us to make our backlog be structurized and make priorities. And also I give you a few anti-patterns and cures which I have because I tried to use it in my current company and we actually failed. And maybe it would be inspiration to do it better and actually learn on somebody else's mistakes. So as Piotr said, I'm Agile fan. I'm one of the co-organizers of Agile Lean Enthusiast Krakow meetup. I'm one of the co-organizers of the conference Agile Lean Europe, which this year was in Krakow. The next conference will be in some different city. There is still voting, so if you're interested, you can vote. And also I'm a member of Agile Lean Europe community. Okay, so moving on. MoSCoW. First, I try to say a bit about this acronym. There are like 4 letters which actually stand for this acronym. So this is not the city. And first is must. What must is? It's a feature that have to be done in order to fulfill the key business need. If we have an example from a bank, let's say that we are working in IT department, which have to deliver the site for a bank. And bank would like to have like a must feature, online transfers. Okay, this is the key thing that users needs. Another is a should, so should have. For the case of the bank, it could be like online payment. If we have services like Allegro, the users could expect that if they buy something, they could easily get payment by their bank, not necessarily going to the separate page, logging in, fulfilling all payments details, and then clicking through the page and so on. So they would like to have it directly, but because it's a workaround for it, so somehow we can do it in a different way, then it's a should. So it's critical, but not so much. The another is could. So what is actually the difference with should and could? There's a difference in, let's say, the level of pain for the user. And what could be an example for a could? Let's say online chat. Few banks have them, still a lot of don't, because it's not so crucial. And my favorite, because in my daily life I usually deal with such requirements. They could be called like wish or want or waste. So basically those can wait for the next releases for the future or even be deleted from the backlog if we just during the discussion find out that they are not necessarily important. Okay, so returning to my case, I transferred from one company to another. Previously, I working in an internal IT department, so I was have some habits connected with cooperation with business, and then I transferred to the company, which is actually software house, and deliver the software for different external clients. And because I was new, I also thought that close cooperation is something natural, which actually wasn't. So this was the first rule I actually learned. And also I noticed that we have a problem with requirements. We had like chaos because there were no BA before me, and this caused a lot of unexpected things connected with the application. And also we didn't have a client yet, and project was quite old, so we want to structurize it. Okay, so this is the background of my case, and I also knew that there is something called Pareto rule. So 80% of users use 20% of the application. So I thought, okay, if that is the case, probably it's easy, just identify those 20%. Maybe we can use to mark those things MoSCoW and build the stuff and sell it to the clients, easy. Also, additionally, we also know that there is a point in time when users have enough features and adding more, it's actually not a good idea because they are more unhappy. And also, I knew this MoSCoW method I'm presenting to you. So basically, we know that we have some set of the key features we have to build. Also, there are a few others. But overall, our backlog should look like this. So it should be divided for the must, should, and could. And maybe if this is so simple, so where is the problem actually? So the first problem is that in defining this, so the things that which are really core from our business process perspective, from the perspective of the system we are building, and there are a few more, but we'll discuss it during the presentation. Returning to my examples, when I sit together with my co-team members, with my business, with marketing, with clients, first we started to make, let's say, steps in MoSCoW. So use it not only for the user stories, but also for the, let's say, product vision. Because there were a lot of requirements, backlog was growing. We have like 1 year ahead plans, so it was really a lot. And somehow you have to have a direction where we are heading because it was like a mess. And unfortunately, trying to go together with a business and say, okay, we have to think about key processes, key things, and mark them as a must, and then we maybe do some more, result in offense, unfortunately. So people basically don't trust me because I was new, I was not domain expert, I was learning, and I was telling them that they have to actually choose what we are building, and it was strange for them. And so the first thing, don't try to teach your business, so your partners, how do they actually should do business, because they are experts in that. I don't know if you know this comedy sketch, but if no, then I recommend you to watch it, because it was exactly the same but from the opposite point of view. So we have to closely cooperate because our business don't know IT, so they behave like this in case of the IT. And we, as a specialist, usually don't know the domain. So if we cooperate really closely together and become a team and gain a trust, then it's working much better. So remember, first gain the trust and then try to have like new ideas, introducing new things. Okay, one more thing. Feature gluttony. I said that our scope was growing. Still, we have a lot of new ideas because there's a really lot of people who have excellent vision, but actually this not help us to go to the end of the project. So what we can actually do in a nutshell to focus on that and maybe narrow down the scope, focus on pain points. But in my case, it didn't work. So when I want to implement MoSCoW and marked, okay, what are the pain points, and we maybe mark them as a must-haves. Actually, we just discovered that everything is a pain point. So what else? Key use cases. Yay, and this worked because it's come to an end that each business have some key use cases and if they don't working well, then business went bankrupt, or the business process is stopped, or some disaster happened, or whatever. So we have to support it. And if we have the key use cases, then we actually easier can mark, okay, this feature is on the way with this key use case, so this is must-have. And this feature have nothing connected with key use case, and probably user click there maybe once a year. Okay, maybe it's a wish. Maybe it's even a could have if it's something connected with, let's say, administration. But still, this helps us to categorize and fight with having everything as a must. Because usually our clients want to have everything, and also when applying the MoSCoW, we have to tell them, okay, we are having iterations. So first, in the first release, when we have this MoSCoW backlog divided, we are building this, but maybe in the next release, we can take those things again and build them later. So this is a matter of setting priorities and using correctly the tools we have. Okay, and besides, if we suggest categories, it's also sometimes easier for our business, for our partners to understand what we are talking about. Because first, if we are going and saying, okay, now we have this agile thing, this MoSCoW thing, and you have to adjust, they are a bit scared because they don't understand, don't know those things. So if we show, okay, we have this key business process we identified together. Now we have to sit and think about the features and how we should actually build our application to have everything covered and everything in place in order to fulfill this key business need we all want to support. Otherwise, we'll have few features started and none feature finished. And this will cause that will be later in the production, and this is the correlation with the cost and so on. So usually this helps a lot. Not always, because that's why I make it not green, but rather orange, because still you can have like stubborn people to cooperate with, but it's the one place that you can actually try. Okay, another, don't have a power to actually change something. It's especially in the big companies, and actually why? Because there is a hierarchy and things like that. And what you actually can do in order to improve situation, just try to involve your management, and I find out that it's really possible even in big companies, or maybe especially in a big companies, because there are also people and they are willing to have changes and willing to improve situation, because we all want to deliver to the customer great products and great software. So if you don't have power yourself, you can always ask someone higher to actually help you and cooperate with the changes. Okay, so because I'm running out of time, my message here is don't be afraid to improve. Even if you fail, you can adjust. And also, in order to quickly wrap up, remember that we have to be a team together with our partners from the business side. Remember that if you have key business process find it out, then it's easier to categorize and even use MoSCoW. And if we are suggesting the categories, we also have to cooperate closely with the business, not doing it alone, because then they will feel offended. And in the end, you can also at least try to involve your management. And thank you, that's it. And if you have any questions, that just grab me, and if you want to talk more about MoSCoW, then also grab me and we can talk in more details about this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Kasia. Now we'll be having Michał, who was already presenting